Okay, y'all have started to record the meeting, and can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Okay, so just by show of hands, how many of you are from a nonprofit or local city within DeKalb County? Is everyone a part? Okay, I see S. Miles. Fuzia, am I pronouncing that right? Fuzia?
It's Fazea.
Fazia, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
It says no, but not in Delano. DeKalb, but not in DeKalb. Okay. All right. Well, at any rate, all I would like to thank all of you for joining us today for this fun-filled hour of learning. And today, our focus is going to be on the programs that are designed to support and help nonprofit entities as well as our local city governments. So I'll get into the presentation. I was sharing my screen earlier, but I always have trouble going into presentation mode. Okay. All right. Okay. So just for those of you who are joining us the first time, I want to just reintroduce the land bank. We are an entity that was formed by the Georgia Land Bank Act of uh, 2012. We are formed by DeKalb County government and the city of Lithonia. Those are our forming organizations. And we are governed by a board of directors. Currently, sitting on our board is Mr. Fred Reynolds, serving as our chairman. Mr. Quinn Green is serving as our vice chairman and treasurer. Ms. Inga Harmon is serving as our secretary. I am Tamika Churchill, the executive director, and I manage and maintain the daily operations of the land bank and the land bank staff. I manage the staff. So before we really get into the nuts and bolts of today's topic, I want to talk to you again. Some of you may be new. Want to talk to you about all of the ways that all the information we put out, all the places you can find us, and just pretty much all the ways you can get messages to us and learn about what we're doing. So, our first the first place we always direct people to is our website. There's a wealth of information on our website, our policies and procedures, our forming documents, meeting minutes. These Webinar Wednesday videos, this series is out there on the website now. You can just go straight to the videos and start learning about the various topics that we discuss on a monthly basis. And when you get to our website, when you arrive there, and I think you spend 2 seconds on it, a white form will pop up. And that is a lead form. And we would like for you to complete that form, place your information, your name, email address, phone number if you'd like in the form so that you will start getting all of our newsletters, announcements, all of our communications coming directly from the land bank to our audience. So we're trying to grow our audience and keep people informed. We will, as we're getting to a point where we're getting more titles cleared within the next couple of months, so we'll have more property listings, property information being sent out. So if you want to be knowledgeable about the available properties with clear titles, then joining our mailing list.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, joining our mailing list is the way to do that. Uh, so sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. 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 All right. I thought I muted the person who was. Okay. So, another way to find out about our properties is still can be found on our website. We have property listings out on the website, and you can go into the listing to get the information on the property, and you can also do an application there on the website on the property listing. So, there is information about these programs on the website that I'm going to talk about today, uh, as well as a couple of the other programs that we've talked about in previous sessions. Again, the project applications are there, policies and procedures, and all of our meeting minutes, meeting schedules are out there, are listed out on our website. We also have social media. We post on our social media outlets. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Like I said, we send out email announcements more than once a month. We send out one monthly newsletter, but we normally announce this event or any other event or any save the dates or any property availability, open houses. Those come out in our email. So if you're signed up for the emails, then you'll get those notifications. And this event is our Webinar Wednesday event. We do this once a month, typically. Well, it's been landing on the last Wednesday of every month. However, just depending on what's going on with the schedule with our training, we may move it up, but it's always announced in advance. We kind of keep an eye on it, and maybe within the second week of every month, we're announcing exactly what date this webinar is going to take place on. And this is your opportunity to talk to us directly, ask questions, learn, and get a chance to actually meet the staff. Shirley is on today. I'm not sure if Devontae is logged on yet to the webinar. However, her camera has been giving us grief, and she is turned sideways today. So she's still there to answer any questions. If you feel free to put questions in the chat, she'll be monitoring the chat as we go through the webinar today, and I like for the webinar to be interactive because there might be something that I say that triggers a question, and I'd like for you to ask, to raise your hand and ask the question at the time. If we get to a point where we're running out of time, then we'll ask that you hold all questions to the end. But right now, it's kind of like an open, I like a conversational type of webinar event, although most of the time I'm doing all the talking. So, but feel free to chime in, get your questions answered so that we're clear, so that I'm clear on the information you're asking questions about, and you can get the best answer here today in the webinar. So those are ways to connect and to partner with us. So this webinar is strictly about two specific programs, and those two programs are our Land Bank Depository Program and the Permanently Affordable Housing Program. I'm going to go in depth explaining those programs later on in the presentation, but I do want to mention the other three programs that we have covered in a previous webinar, and that is the donation program, where we, the Land Bank, accept property donations from private citizens, organizations, or anyone who's willing to donate land. Now we do have to approve the transfer. We don't accept all transfers. We have to feel that the land has a purpose or that we can repurpose the land and it benefits the community. So we do reserve the right to deny property donations. But for the most part, we do like to accept property donations. We have a side lot program that offers neighboring properties the opportunity to buy county-owned properties that are vacant and underutilized. And also, we have a community-inspired development program. Many of you may fall into this program. If you're not a nonprofit entity or a government entity, a lot of the proposals that you will send into the land bank will fall into this community inspired group. And this gives us all the opportunity to be creative, to explore things that we've never explored before here in DeKalb, but some things that may have worked in other parts of the country, other cities, other states that you may be aware of. So it gives us the ability to learn and to grow and to just make the best of our authority here in the state of Georgia. Okay. So I'll start with the Land Banking Depository Program. Can I see a show of hands of are you all any nonprofit organizations that own land? Is there anyone on the phone? Okay, no worries. You don't have to be. Oh, Sharon. Hey, Sharon. Okay. You don't have to be, you don't have to own land at this time. But what we offer to nonprofit entities is we will hold your properties in the land bank. We will transfer it in, we will hold it, maintain it, insure it, and hold it tax exempt while you develop while you develop a plan for the property. So in most instances, many of the nonprofit organizations' core competencies are not property management, property renovation, or pretty much anything with property. I know lots of churches get property donations that they want to develop, but their core competency is spiritual and religious education and not necessarily property development. So organizations such as that, faith-based organizations, various types of organizations, can come to the land bank to say, hey, we need some help. We have some property that was donated to us. We need some help with the property. Um, many times, many times, some of those properties are challenged. They have heirs property issues. They may have delinquent taxes, and those are the challenges that we're given authority to handle and to remove some of those barriers so that that property can be developed and repurposed to for affordable housing or any other purpose that benefits the community. So, as you see here, I've listed some program benefits for the Land Bank Depository Program. Number one, the property can be, if you receive a property and you don't know what to do with it, you don't have a management company, you can deposit, you can reach out to the land bank and you can say, I want to transfer this property into the land bank. We will hold it tax exempt. Again, we will maintain it. We will manage a renovation if that's what you want to do, and or we will just hold it until you come up with a um, a development plan of what you want to do with the property. Now, you must approach us with some type of proposal, and we'll get into the details of that a little bit later on as to what we need to know and what the minimum requirements are for us to bring a property into this program and hold it for you. Um, the costs that we incur are a pass-through cost, so we don't cover those costs. You cover those costs. We provide the services of handling the property for you and any costs associated with maintaining and managing and holding your properties while you're coming up with your development plan. Those get passed through back to you with somewhat a small nominal management fee coming from the land bank. Um, in addition, like I mentioned, sometimes you get tax delinquent properties. We do something called conduit transfers. So organizations that do work with housing, that do work with renovations, and can do those, doesn't necessarily need a land bank to hold their property. Um, One of the things that we can offer to those organizations is what we call our conduit transfer. So let's say, for example, um, someone's parent passes away and leaves them a home that has no mortgage, yet it has a lot of delinquent taxes. And they just don't know what to do or they don't want to deal with it. They want to donate that house to a nonprofit organization. So they would bring that, they would sign quitclaim deed over to the nonprofit organization, and here it is: the nonprofit organization owns interest in a home that is severely tax delinquent. That property can be transferred into the land bank, and the land bank, as long as it's in one of our member cities in our jurisdiction, which currently is uh, the unincorporated DeKalb County and the city of Lithonia, as long as it is in our jurisdiction, we can extinguish the taxes on the property and transfer it back to the organization for them to move forward with development. Delinquent taxes and tax liens of any kind, uh, impede progress and impede movement on properties. But we're here to help remove some of those barriers so that the organization could move on and make that property an affordable housing or economic development opportunity, but something that benefits the residents and the citizens of DeKalb County. Some of the requirements, in addition to its geographic location, is the properties must be unimproved. It can be real residential property, whether it be single family or multifamily property that is unoccupied, or it can be a vacant commercial or industrial property, but it cannot be property that is occupied, regardless of where it's located. And again, all transfers must be approved by our board of directors, and the board does reserve the right to deny any transfer if they feel that the organization's purpose or organization's goal for the property does not align with our organizational priorities, which is affordable housing, economic development, and blight removal and remediation. So while you can approach us with the various transfer proposals, in some instances our board may not accept the transfer of the property. The second program that I'm going to discuss is the permanently affordable housing program. If you are a housing mission-based organization, this will be clearly and easily understandable to you what we mean by permanently affordable housing. If you are not one of those organizations and you want a better understanding of what permanently affordable is, we have a webinar. I think it's our April webinar. And you can find that on our website or on our YouTube channel that describes and defines and explains what permanently affordable means as it is defined by the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, which is, also known as HUD. So this program was designed for the land bank to offer land to nonprofit entities in order to help them achieve their mission. And within this property, we have the ability to offer them land at severely discounted rates. And the purpose of us doing that is so that their development costs are held low and they're able to transfer their properties on to a end user who meets the affordability criteria, the family that meets the criteria of affordability. So affordability is also defined by area median incomes. And when I say family income, that's kind of the same as AMI. The area median income in Metro Atlanta is about $114,000 right now. However, there are various percentages of the area median income for the various types of housing. Like workforce housing is 80% AMI to 120%, and there are some organizations that provide housing for those under 80%, some under 60%, and so on and so forth. Each organization has its own guidelines and may have its own segment of people that it targets to help. So in this instance, we don't discriminate. We don't say that, hey, the organization must provide housing below 60% or above 80%. we work with all organizations and allow them to define what their AMI targets are, but we do assist them with keeping their project costs low, and helping them obtain land that is underutilized to create.
It will automatically come down today since it is expiring.
Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. In this program, and I made this bold because I want to emphasize that again, the board must approve the affordable housing project, and in your proposal to us, we must know that you understand affordability, what it is. We must know that you understand who you're targeting to place in that property when when the development is completed, and we must know that you understand what the maximum cost for the neighborhood is, or what the maximum cost for the rents, or whatever you're going to charge, however you're going to rent the property, whether you're going to sell the property. We must understand that you understand and know what you are signing up for before we transfer properties to you. Affordable housing is a complicated beast, but if you take the time out and get the help, we have those meetings. If you apply for one of our properties and it's an affordable housing opportunity, then I meet with you to make sure you understand. I explain it to you. We make it plain. We go look up information on the property that you want to buy, and we make it plain and simple, because if making the property affordable does not work with your company profit margins and goals, then it's not even worth making the transfer, us transferring the property to you, or you even attempting to do the development if the numbers don't work. So this is something that we're very serious about, because we do enforce the covenants and the restrictions in our transfer agreement. And we also have a post-compliance program in which every transferee must adhere to. Our team is we've implemented a new software, and for every agreement, we're still working on the actual program. So if there's anybody in the audience who has been transferred a property from us, and I think there is at least one, we will be sending over your compliance portal as soon as they finish building that out, and we should have that by the middle of next month, your compliance portal. And it's simply for you to upload information on the progress of your development project. Say, for instance, if we gave you 2 years to renovate a property and get it to a family with affordable restrictions and guidelines, then I think we'll ask that you upload your building permit or your renovation permit, and then we'll ask that you upload any inspection reports that you get throughout the process. Then we ask that you'll upload your certificate of occupancy. Then we ask on the back end, like, okay, tell us how this was affordable, who is the end user, and how do they meet the criteria. So that's all a part of our compliance program after we transfer a property in this permanently affordable housing program. And pretty much any program with even the satellite programs and the community inspired, there will be compliance on the back end. We make sure that you do what you tell us you're going to do with the property. If not, we have an option agreement in all of our transfer agreements that allow us to take the property back if it's not utilized in the way in which we transferred it to you. So just keep that up front, and make sure everyone understands that these properties were at one time owned by a government, many of them, and taxpayer dollars went into maintaining them. So it is our goal to make sure that the citizens of the county, those who pay taxes, are benefiting, and that we are removing blight, and that we are giving housing opportunities, and that we are growing businesses and making this a better community with these properties. So that is one of our main objectives. Okay. Are there any questions so far? We're getting through this so fast. I'm 26 minutes in and heading towards the last slide of content. And no one has any questions?
The
Tamika,
questions have been turned off.
Oh, okay.
Tamika,
Yes.
there are several. One is if I make an offer on a property, but it's too low for the land bank, how do you handle that scenario?
If you make an offer that is too low, I'm not, can whoever sent that question provide me with a little bit more detail? Are you saying if you make an offer and it is less than the offer price listed on the property, how do
No,
we handle that? Yes.
yeah, so I had made an offer on a property. There was no price indicated on the listing on the
Sure.
website.
Sure.
And so I made an offer, and I received an email that said that this property is being reserved for something else on the land bank.
Okay. So what do you remember the address? 3619 Tulip Drive.
I can look it up. It's on
Okay.
Tulip Road.
Tulip Drive. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So the land bank reserves the right to reserve properties for our own purposes or for other types of development deals that we may be working with other nonprofits, or we do reserve the right to not sell a property to anyone, but to keep it, renovate it ourselves, develop it ourselves. So for that particular property on Tulip Drive, we have decided to hold that property for development. And it had nothing to do with the amount you offered on the property.
Okay, but I guess I still now that you have better context, how would you handle a scenario if I make an offer, but you're wanting more, or maybe, you know, does it go back and forth till you can get to a price that you want, or how does that happen?
Um, we normally do not really go back and forth. We may send you a notice saying that your price does not meet the standards of the property or what we consider for the property.
Okay, would you
You may
then
get a
say,
notice.
okay, we were looking for this price. Can you meet this price?
No, we probably would not get into a negotiation of that type. No, you would need to reapply with your best offer. We typically we have a pricing strategy that is described. I'm not sure if you've seen our new. Have you seen our new website?
I've been going to the one that I found about 5 months ago.
Okay, we just implemented a new website about 2 months ago. So the look and the design and the information on that new site, it tells you exactly what the pricing strategy is, and
Oh, okay.
and it describes pricing. Now, if your offer is less than what is listed and we still consider it reasonable, then we have the right to consider that. Again, if you're a nonprofit entity, then we do have some other guidelines that we work on as it relates to price.
All right.
Okay, can someone post a new website for me, please? Because I seem to.
The website is the same.
Mhm.
In the top right hand, let me see about going to the website and showing you exactly what. I don't want to get out of Zoom. Can you see my Google screen? Can you all see Google screen?
No.
Okay, hold on. Let
No.
me share the. Okay, I'm sharing the wrong. Okay, can you all see? This is the lead form I was telling everyone about. So this is our homepage of our website. If you go here to property listing,
I'm not seeing any website. Are you
Oh.
sharing it?
can anybody see my my?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Tamika, the link is posted in the comments
Okay, the
on
link is
Zoom
okay.
from Ren's.
Okay, the link is in the comments. But can you not see my the webpage that I have posted?
I don't know if I'm looking
I
at the wrong
can,
thing,
I
but
can see it. I can
Yes, I
Okay.
see
can
it.
see it too.
If you're using multiple screens, you may have to slide look at the other screen or something. You have something wrong because we all can see it.
okay, I understand. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So, on this page, this is our new website. And when you go into a property, um, there are various application forms, and the applications tell you exactly what you need, exactly what the pricing requirements are, and y- and and it describes it much better than the last site that you were describing that had no pricing on it.
Absolutely. No, I never seen one with pricing now, so I will be going back there. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you, and feel free to give us a call if you need some help navigating.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Ms. Tamika, what if
Yeah.
you go on there and it doesn't have a price, but it just tell you what the property is worth?
Has that happened?
Yes.
What property are you referring to?
I think it's 50. I left my paperwork in the office. It's
You
near,
have
it's
a
right,
street name?
it's a satellite parking lot next to my home at 5005 Martin Crossing Road.
Oh, Martin Crossing. Okay, so what we have listed as the price is the county appraiser's value.
Yeah, it got the appraisal value.
Okay, and that's what we have listed as the price. If you will look at the application describes our pricing strategies, our pricing guidelines, and that number is within the pricing guidelines. The appraisal value from the county appraisal is the number that we use in pricing.
Okay.
Okay.
And the pricing. Okay, got it.
Okay.
So are you saying that, let's use this as an example, this 88.7, would that be the top number, or is that the number that you're expecting someone to put on the application as their asking price, as their offer, I'm sorry?
Okay. In the pricing strategy, just depending on what type of organization it is. If it's an individual, it describes the pricing strategy for individuals. If you're a nonprofit, then the nonprofits do get properties at a discount, and they would make the offer that they would make. I suggest to anyone, make the best offer that you can make, and we'll take a look at it. But these are the guidelines that we utilize now. The county appraisers values.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are there any more questions? Okay. All right, so I will get back to the slide presentation.
Tamika, there is one other question
Okay.
that was asked. Can you purchase properties for personal care homes?
That would be a beneficial contribution to the community. So yes, you can. If you already know what you're going to purchase the property for, then explain that in the application. Explain as much as you can, as much as you already know in your application. The reason I'm being kind of hesitant is because today's topic is about nonprofit organizations and governmental entities. And what I'm about to say here as it relates to how you submit your request to us is probably a little bit different from the questions that I'm getting. So if you see a property on our website and you think, okay, I want to develop this property into was it a personal health facility? Was that it? A health facility? Then you would complete the application for that property and describe your project. Describe how you're gonna achieve that outcome. How are you gonna fund that outcome? Who's gonna build it for you, or what is it gonna take to make that happen? Is there a structure already there? Who's gonna renovate that structure? Are you partnering with anyone? All that needs to be clearly described in an application. If you're an individual wanting to do this type of project, because again, that will fall into our community inspired programs. Our nonprofit entities typically have a mission. If we're working with a nonprofit, we look at their mission statement, their mission documents, because by going to their website, if what is in the application is inconsistent with what's on their website, then that leads me to questions. If they say that they help students to graduate as a tutorial service, and then they're saying that now they're affordable housing developer, and I don't see that anywhere on their website in their organizational documents, then that raises a question to me, like, okay, what are you really going to do with this property? But if they're partnering with others and they're a nonprofit and this can some way support their mission, then and we can tie it together, then it's worth us entertaining and exploring and possibly approving. So again, if you're not a nonprofit organization and you're not a government entity utilizing these two programs, then you must complete the property application that is out there on the website attached to each one of the properties that is out there.
I have a question, sort of comment. When I learned about land banks, it was the premise that I understood it was that it was more affordable opportunities. And as I look at the prices now, they seem very high. Like 0.09 acres is $27,000.
Okay.
I don't think that's even buildable. It's just maybe a side lot to someone's other property. And so is the premise of the land bank to be more affordable, or is it not?
Not necessarily more affordable. The purpose of the land bank is to return vacant, abandoned, and dilapidated non-tax generating properties back to the tax roll.
Right.
Again, on our application, we do discount side lot properties. That is one of the categories where the property is discounted. If no development can take place, we do discount those properties. Again, prior to applying, you can read through the application to determine if and so just like if you were the neighboring property and you see that $27,000 price on what you know is something you can't build on, then in that case you click on a button. There's a option to say I own the property next door, which lets us know it's a side lot. And if you put a price less than the appraiser's values, we understand that this is a side lot and we do discount side lots. That's clearly stated in our pricing strategy on the application.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
So I have another question. So with the side lot program, like with the one I'm trying to obtain, the reason why I want to tame it because the trees have been tearing up my house for years.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't want to like clear any, like I took upon myself to clear 10 trees away, but it's not my property. But if I clear any more off, so my house won't get tore up again,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm rebuilding it and rebuilding it. Like, what would you suggest that I do? Because clearly the county is not taking care of it, because if they was, the trees wouldn't be falling on my house. Which,
Definitely.
which I can't blame you guys, because Mother Nature does what Mother Nature do.
Yes. Yes. Miss Queena, I definitely I am aware of the property that you're trying to buy, and I believe I've got that property on our list to bring into the land bank to convey. We've already added it. We just have to go get through the process of going through the board of commissioners to get it, and then we can work on transferring it to you. I believe that it may fall outside of the line of the side lot requirements,
Mm-hmm.
and so we will have to evaluate this on a case by case basis, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know it's FEMA considered being a flood zone too, because my house did get flooded from that land as well.
Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, definitely. I know you've been calling and talking to Devontae. We just don't have
Yeah.
the property until we get it. There's not really much we can do. Have
Okay.
you? We may be able to put you in touch with beautification in order for them to come out there and do something about it, about the trees if need be. But
Mm-hmm.
we until we have it, we can't transfer it to you. But we are working on that. I have
Okay.
requested the property.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Did you know that already? Did anybody ever tell
No,
you that?
no, nobody never called me back. I sent several emails. I talked to Mrs. I actually
Shirley.
got her on the phone, Mrs. Shirley, and which was very nice. And we talked for a minute, and I was just waiting to hear back from you as well.
Okay. Can you give us the address of that? And Shirley, I want you to verify we have that on acquisition list. But I'm pretty sure Devontae and I did put that one on the acquisition list. And you don't have to verify on the phone, but we can get back with Miss Queena. But definitely verify for me that we have that. Okay. So
All right, thank you.
I'll complete this. I'll complete this slide for the nonprofit entities that are on the phone, and then go back to answering any individual questions. So, if a nonprofit entity receives home donations, of course, that property is not listed in my land bank. It's not owned by the county, so they won't be able to. You won't be able to complete an application on our website. In that instance, you must contact the land bank and schedule an appointment with me, yours truly, the executive director, to discuss your needs of transferring that property and kind of pretty much let us know what you need us to help you with. Do you need us to hold it for a few years while you figure out what you want to do with it? While we're holding it, do we need to renovate it? Do we? Are you going to renovate it? Are you going to keep the grass cut? Make that agreement. But those are things that you would have to come directly to me to do. We cannot. There is no application out there for you to submit. Just submit to us without having the conversation. We ask that you submit maybe a one-page proposal summarizing the terms of, I want to put this in the land bank for 2 years. We'll cut the grass. We just want you to hold it tax exempt. We'll winterize it. We'll do whatever, or whatever the terms may be. Tell us what you need us to do, and tell us, and then by the end of the agreement, we all will define the responsibilities for each organization in the transfer agreement. And then we'll also have a preliminary timeline as to how long the agreement will last and when that property will be transferred back to the original organization. We ask that you provide as much detail as possible and a timeline. And again, be specific about the expected duties of DeKalb Regional Land Bank Authority and the responsibilities of the property owner in your proposals. So that is how a nonprofit or a governmental entity can work with us on their challenged property issues or obtaining property to do affordable housing, permanently affordable housing. Those are the ways in which you can do it. And if you're looking to if you're a nonprofit developer looking to do permanently affordable housing, you can actually complete the application on our website for properties that we own. We do have some developers working with nonprofits who are not looking to get property from the land bank, but they are looking for assistance with taxes while they're in development. So that again is a phone conversation. We don't have an application for that, but those are things that that we do for new development, new construction types of development. Are there any additional questions?
Sorry, my name is Antoinette, and I raised my hand, and sorry for the lateness. I had another meeting. I
No
wanted to ask
problem.
a question because we have an actual nonprofit that we do, and so my nonprofit serves homeless folks and those that live in at-risk communities, and so we were looking at something for our parents that are our low income parents and those that are trying to find housing that doesn't have any.
Mm.
And so since we service that population, we have an after school program as well in Chick-fil-A, and we want to service those parents that come to our program that need housing. Are we able to do that added on to it? I heard you just say it needs to be in your mission. In our mission is those things that who we service, but it's not in our mission that we service those that are doesn't have housing. So do that particular thing need to say housing in there? But we do serve those that are homeless, and those are the ones that we're our team was looking at. We went to our board meeting. We were talking about getting some houses for those of our families that are homeless.
Okay, so providing for those who are homeless is that's a broad mission. So if you decide that you're going to go from providing other services to homes and place, then that still fits with it. I consider that to fit within your mission. Even though it's not clearly stated, your mission is broad, which is fine, and it gives you that ability to scale and increase the level of service that you're providing to that population. So I think I don't think you need to change your mission because I think that you know this is just kind of in addition to these are you may change your service offering, you know, but I think if you're serving that population and you want to, you know, provide them with homes, we don't have a lot of standing structures, but if you want to, you know, work with a developer to purchase land from the land bank to develop home to house those who are unhoused, then you know that works. That sounds like something that we would definitely partner with you in.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any additional questions? Really, I can't see. Oh,
Miss
I see.
Tamika,
Yeah.
I responded to this, but you can kind of make sure I responded correctly. Someone saw that the property said redeemed on it, and they
Okay.
want to know what that means.
Okay. So while we go through uh, the whole title clearance, just to back up a little bit, many of the properties that will come through the land bank are tax delinquent properties that were obtained, that were pretty much taken from the property owner for failure to pay property taxes at some point in time. And the law requires that these properties in a title clearance process that our attorneys reach out to those parties who might have an interest in the property, and they let them know that DeKalb Regional Land Bank, we only own an interest in the property. The DeKalb Regional Land Bank is about to foreclose on your right to redeem this property. And while we're doing that, and if someone challenges our legal action, they can come back and say, hey, that was, I own the property, my rights were not barred. I want to pay those delinquent taxes and I want my property back. They have the right to do that through the title clearance process. So we've had an instance where we were serving interested parties on a particular property where we were trying to bar the right of redemption, and that person reached out to say, hey, I want to reclaim my property, I want to redeem my property, and they paid the redemption fees, and now they have their property back. And that's what that means. Just and another, just something else to know about. Many of you may know that you can go to tax sales and purchase tax deeds at the courthouse steps on the first Tuesday of every month. In this state, the redemption period for the previous owner is 1 year. And so when you go to the tax sale and you purchase a tax deed, you literally cannot do anything with that property for 1 year and 1 day. You cannot begin the barment process. You cannot begin the quiet title process. You can't really do anything unless you are contacting that original owner and they are signing away their right to redeem the property within that 1 year period of time. Otherwise, the law gives them 1 year from the date of the tax sale to reclaim that property, to come back and pay the delinquent taxes, pay what the person who bought the house on the courthouse steps or property on the courthouse steps has paid with a certain percentage. I think it's about 10% or 20% in the first year, that first 1 year period. The law does give the original party the right to do that, and that is called a redemption as well. So, when you're dealing with the tax delinquent properties, people still have rights after the property has been transferred. Well, the county no longer transfers those properties over to the county anymore, so they just kind of cycle back through tax sales. But that is the process. But there used to be a time, and those properties that you see out there are those that did get transferred over to the county when they were doing that back. I think it was prior to 2014. Okay. Did that answer the question?
Yes.
That may have answered that question, but let me ask you a question. She just made that comment. So that means if I go and purchase a home or purchase a land in it or whatever it may be, and then I got to wait a whole year before I start building anything on it for my parents to even take residence in it. Am I understanding that correctly?
That's if you buy it at a tax sale on the
Or if I buy
courthouse
a
steps.
tax sale on the courthouse steps.
On the courthouse
So if I-
steps, yes.
Okay, so if I go buy a piece of land or a home or whatever on the courthouse steps, before I can rehab it or do anything to it, I need to let it sit for a whole year.
You must maintain it and keep it code compliant for an entire year, because there is a redemption period to the original owner. The state gives them that 1 year redemption period, and it's really not that bad, because some states require like 4, 5, and 6 years. Have 4, 5, 6 year redemption period.
Okay, so if they come in and say I waited the time and it may be 1 day before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And anything that we've done, remodels or anything like that, and they come back at that 1 day before and say I want my house back. Or do we get the money that we invested into it, or that money is gone?
Well, now I would say that you would not spend money on remodeling, but you would spend money on bringing the house into code compliance. So if the yard was littered with junk and you got that cleaned up, because you're going to be listed on the deed at that time, and you will be fined by code enforcement if the property is not clean, if the grass is not cut. So those maintenance costs you should be reimbursed with in that first year from that person who is wanting to redeem it. Yes, they have to pay you what you paid at the tax sale plus about 20%, up to 20%, and the costs that you incurred for maintaining the property within the first
Okay.
year. Within that redemption period, they must pay you that back as a part of their cost for redemption.
Okay, but if I come and get it from you or from a land bank, I don't, that none of that applies.
Well, no, that doesn't apply because at the land bank, if I have conveyed a property to you fee simple, then we've already gotten the title clear and we've already foreclosed the right of redemption. They cannot come back and take it. And for our fee simple lots, what we call tax deeds, where we do transfer, we transfer the tax deed and allow you to do your quiet title. Most of those properties that are in that category are more than 1 year past their tax sale date. However, when you're going through the process of barment and the process of quiet title, which you will have to do before you move forward with the property, that person, if the right of redemption has not been barred on the property, that person may have a right to come back and redeem that property. However, they still must pay you everything all the costs that you incurred to get the property.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and so on our applications, we have an option for those properties that don't have clear title. You have an option to take a quick claim deed and to get the title cleared get it cleared on your own with your own attorney. The compliance requirement is that you do that within a 12-month period of time. That's one option. Option number two is that you say, okay, Tamika, I want to buy the property, but before we close, I want the land bank to help me get the title cleared. I want you all to take it through the process with your attorney. Okay? And in some instances, just depending on where that property is, there may be a fee, an upfront fee for us to do that. And in other instances, there may not be a fee because we've already gotten it in the process and we're just waiting for the process to play out. Then we don't charge fees. Those upfront fees, everything it's included in our agreement price. All the fees and all our costs it's already been included. It's not separated. So if you're not well versed in title clearance and quiet title processes, option B might work best for you because then we see it through all those processes and you really don't close on the property in order for it to be redeemed by somebody else. Could it be redeemed while we're going through the barment and quiet title process? Yes, but you get refunded in that instance. You get your money back and then we just move on. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am, and I appreciate you explaining that.
Sure. So, yeah, just depends on, we've got some nonprofits that do this. They have their own attorneys. They are used to getting properties with clouded titles. They can take it and they can get it done quickly. It's typically a 6 to 8 month process. So, again, we don't advise that you invest a whole lot of money into the property other than maintaining it, keeping it clean until you get that quiet title order from a judge. Okay. It is 1 o'clock. Are there any additional questions? I'm willing to stay on and answer a few more questions If not, then we can conclude today's webinar. I didn't put on the Q&A slide, but
Real quick, I wanted to ask a question.
Mhm.
This is my first time here. Before we close out, it's my first time here, and I'm glad to be here. I was invited by Erica. I'm a real estate land developer, new to Georgia, and our focus is micro luxury affordable housing, single family energy efficient homes. And my question to you is, what does that process look like? If I see, like I'm looking at your website now, if I see a parcel that we want to purchase today and we go through the necessary steps to acquire it, what does that process look like? If we just offer the price, we submit our offer for the price that is listed for, what will be the turnaround time?
It depends on what what state the property's in. What do you see a property and does it say what available tax deed, available
Right. On your website, I saw a few that were available here in Georgia.
tax deed or available fee
Oh,
simple?
yeah, like this one, for example, says in Clarkston, Georgia, available tax deed.
Okay, available tax deed could take anywhere from 45 days to about 90 days right now, just depending on it. If you're a development company and you're already used to clearing titles and you wouldn't want us to clear the title,
No, I would prefer that you guys clear the title.
okay, well then that could take up to 6 to 8 months.
Oh, wow.
That could
Okay.
take up to 6 to 8 months. Um, Once you identify you want the property, then we will, agree on the price, agree to go under contract, and then we will allow our lawyers to take it into the title clearance process. But
Okay.
it'll be held for you. It won't go anywhere. We won't sell it to anyone else. It'd be considered
Okay.
maybe held for development in legal review while in legal
Okay.
review. Mhm.
Due diligence. It looks like all of them say tax deed. Okay.
Not all of them. Many of them do say tax deed, but that's, some of the processes will be shorter than others. There won't be many defendants on a lot of them, and it may not take that 6 to 8 months. It could be less.
So this one in Clarkston, Georgia, that says available fee simple, is that a shorter process?
What is the address?
1176 Clark Street, Clarkston, Georgia. It says available, but it says fee, FEE simple.
I know I'm very familiar with that property. I'm not sure why it says fee simple
Okay.
because we don't own it. We don't own that one yet. I'm not sure
Oh,
why it says fee simple.
okay.
But I will take a look. I'll take a look as to why it says fee simple.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And Miss, is it Divine? If you want to email the email
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
bottom, if you want to email us, we
Mr.
don't have
Mika,
yeah.
Mr.
Huh?
Mika, that's the property that we
I
just
know what it
received.
is.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to email us, please look there. Our email address. Can you give the email address?
I have it.
Okay. Yeah. Just email to inquire if you have any additional questions. We do have some other interest in that property, so
Okay, no problem.
that's how I know what it is.
Oh, okay. No problem. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Let's
Okay.
make one more question. Do you all have any programs for as like grants or anything like that? Or anything if DeKalb County has that?
Not that I'm aware of for purchasing property.
Yes.
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Okay.
And yeah, no, our name is confusing. A lot of people think we loan money because we are a land bank, but it means you deposit your land and withdraw your land. Deposit and withdraw land. That's what a land bank is.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, thank you all for coming again. I hope to see you next month. We haven't chosen a topic for next month, Webinar Wednesday. We normally do that in our first meeting for each month. So we hope that you've signed up for our notifications, and the topic and the invitation to the next Webinar Wednesday will be sent out in the second or third week of August. So I look forward to talking to you. Feel free to reach out, email us, call in if you have any questions. And if that's it, we will see you next time.